All right, guys. So before you step out and call the United Consumers to call your deal in, you're going to go ahead and want to get the contract filled out. This is a very important piece because this is a binding contract between you and the customer and the company. So therefore, you don't want any mistakes on it. You are allowed two scratch overs, but those scratch overs have to be initialed by the customer. You cannot scratch anything out unless you're at the customer's house. So therefore, once you get home, if you see you made a mistake, you're gonna have to go back and see that customer. So we're gonna go over that with Stacy real fast. So also a cool thing, I didn't tell you this, but if you can have it pre-filled out, go ahead and get just a standard contract pre-filled out. It's gonna save you on some time. So therefore, you're able to get this done a little bit faster. Just a standard contract. All the terms are going to be the same, and go ahead and get that freed out. So you take your application, and you go ahead and fill in the buyer's name, which is Stacy M. Brown. You're going to go ahead and fill our address, city, and zip code. Now over here on the side, you see E2 Black. That is the model we are selling. It's got rainbow and power nozzle. You're going to go ahead and fill those out. So therefore, you already have the serial numbers on them. All these numbers stay the same. The 294892 goes to Mount Finance. That's how much their finance is, 294892. And we're going for 36 months. Right here, starting date. That starting date is 40 days from your sale. You can use a app on your phone to get that, or you can just Google what is 40 days from today. You can ask Siri, she'll tell you, and you go ahead and write in the 40 days. The reason why that's important because whenever you call it into United Consumers, they're going to ask, when do you want it to start? So you go ahead and write that in. Then you have everything else filled out. Now down here at the bottom it says salesperson signature. That is your signature. And salesperson title, that is your title. So you'll be a dealer. If you have one buyer, they're going to sign here and date. They're very important that the contract date and the application date are the same. So sign here. If you have a co-buyer, they'll sign here. Then what you're going to do is flip it over to the other side. We always have it bended right here in the middle. Notice of cancellation. That is the date of the sale. That is the date that you actually did the demo in the house. So if we did a demo today and we sold it, it'd be 2/10/17. The name of the company, Dream Machines, 71 Pine Grove Road, Locust Grove, Georgia, 30248. Now right here, not later than midnight of, and it's got a date. That right there is whenever you call United Consumers to go ahead and get your application turned in, they're going to give you a cancellation date. You'll write that date there. Now this right here, it says buyer signature. Very, very important. Do not let the buyer sign there. The reason why, if they sign there, you just did all the paperwork but just totally lost the sale because they just canceled on you. So therefore, you don't let them do that. So once you'll step out, you'll make the phone call. They'll give you the cancellation date. And you're done filling out your contract. They've already signed it. You're going to come back inside. You're going to open up the contract. This first yellow copy, very important. It says buyer's copy. So the first yellow copy, you're going to take out, you're going to tear it out. That's going to go with their paperwork because you always have to leave a copy of the contract with the customer. Now, one thing that I want to show here that I did not talk about on the application is we use yellow highlighters. The reason why we use yellow highlighters to highlight any piece of paper is because whenever you copy them or fax them, the highlighter does not show up. So, but if you were to use pink, green, you would have all this stuff written in with a pink or green highlighter, but the thing is, it would be all blacked out on your copies. Now, key thing to remember is this is the binding contract. Make sure it's neat, make sure it's legible, make sure there's no write-overs. If they are, make sure you allow to, but they initial it. So therefore, you're good to go. Now we're going to step out. We're going to make our phone call, and we'll be back inside to finish filling out paperwork.